Hey folks, this is lesson 12. Today we're going to be going farther with our study of nouns. So we looked at what the part of speeches were, nouns, verbs, adjectives, adverbs, etc. And then we did a close-up look at just nouns. So today is your opportunity to practice identifying and classifying nouns. So you're going to be using your camera in this particular lesson. You're going to go outside, inside, whatever you want. You're going to take pictures of things that you would classify as people, places, things, and if you can think symbolically, try to take some pictures that you think might represent some ideas or emotions, and we'll talk about that in a few minutes. So you're going to be using your camera, and then when your pictures have all been taken, you're going to create a new document. You can use Google Docs, you can use Pages, and then you're going to put your pictures on a document, and then you're going to label them. So I'm going to show you what that might look like. So here's an example of how you're going to label each of your pictures. So I've taken a wonderful picture of Mrs. Moulton. She is a person, and in my list of categories of types of nouns, this is a singular picture of Mrs. Moulton. And so there is one Mrs. Moulton. Thank goodness there's not more than one. So not only is Mrs. Moulton a singular person, this is also her proper name. To call her by her proper noun name, we'd call her Mrs. Moulton. Her common noun name, there are several. I could call her teacher. That's common because it's not naming her. I could call her woman. I could call her friend. So those are common names for Mrs. Moulton. The only proper name for her would be Mrs. Moulton. So if I want to do plural for any of these words, she's not plural, but if I took pictures of the 7th and 8th grade team, I could have teachers, I could have women, I could have friends. That's plural. So the next thing, so we did singular and plural, we've done common and proper. So next is concrete and abstract. Well, because Mrs. Moulton is something or someone that I can see, she is a concrete noun. She can't be abstract because she has size, shape. We can see her, we can hear her, we can go up and touch her, give her a hug, whatever else that we do with concrete nouns. So for collective, Mrs. Moulton by herself is not a collective noun. Teacher is not a collective noun. Woman is not a collective noun. However, if we talked about Mrs. Moulton on this in PCSS, she might be part of the staff, which is a collective noun for a group of teachers. We might also call her part of the faculty, which is a collective noun for a group of teachers. So then when we look at her gender, we can say that this is a feminine noun. So Mrs. Moulton is a singular noun. Her common name, there's all kinds, teacher, woman, friend. Her only proper name is Mrs. Moulton, and you'll notice capital, because we always capitalize proper nouns. It is a concrete noun because I can see her. She belongs to a collective noun called staff or faculty, and her gender would be feminine. All right, so next we're going to look at how would we classify and name all of the different ways to look at this photo, which is a place, and it is a noun. It's where we go to school, so it's a place, so therefore it is a noun. So first I want to look at, is it singular or plural? Right now it is singular because it's one school. If I showed pictures of many schools or many buildings, that would be plural. So the common name for this photograph and this place would be school. lowercase because it's not the specific name of this place. The proper name of this school would be either PCMS, Piscataquis Community Middle School. When we're part of a larger school, PCSS, Piscataquis Community Secondary School. So because I can see it and we can walk in it and it's got shape and size and mass, this is definitely a concrete noun because it has all the qualities that use our senses. For school, there probably is not a collective noun to describe a group of schools other than schools, but that would just be plural. So lastly, we're going to look at its gender. Well, schools are non-living things. So this school is what we call neutral. It is not masculine, it is not feminine, it doesn't belong to a gender category. It is neutral because it is a non-living thing. So this photograph of place is a singular building. Its a common name is school. Its proper name is PCMS or PCSS. It is a concrete noun because you can see it, you can touch it, you can walk in it. And it does not have a collective noun that goes with it, and it is neutral because it does not have a masculine or feminine gender. So next we're going to look at the next picture, which is a thing, and this thing happens to be the trail running shoe that I have on my foot right this minute. And because I only took a picture of one shoe and not the pair, it is singular. But remember that word pair because that fits one of our other categories. So it is singular if I want it, so it's shoe or sneaker. But if I wanted to make it plural and I had pictures of both of my feet, it would be shoes. So next, we want to talk about, is it common? What is its common name? What is its proper name? So common name would be shoe or sneaker, whatever you want to call it. Its proper name, in this case, is the brand, and it's Solomon. I think I spelled that right. So you'll notice again, because it's the brand name, Solomon is capitalized when it's a proper noun. Because I can see this shoe, and I can put it on, and I can put it in a box, and I can hold it. Definitely don't want to smell it, but I can see it. It is concrete because it has size, shape, weight, mass, etc. So the next category we talked about, and I said I wanted you to pay attention to what I said if I have two shoes. There is a collective noun that deals with shoes. If I have two shoes in a group, I have a pair. So a pair of shoes is the collective noun that we would use to describe two matching shoes. And then lastly, does this shoe have a gender? Well, I have a gender because it's my shoe, but it's not necessarily a girl shoe or a boy shoe. So again, the gender of this shoe is neutral because it's not a masculine shoe or a feminine shoe. So that really looks at how we identify nouns that are things. So our last category, idea nouns. This is much more, and I'm going to use the word abstract, even though it fits the category of abstract. This really is your opportunity to think symbolically, because an idea does not have a shape, it does not have a size, it doesn't have weight or mass. You have to try to be creative and think symbolically of what you want a particular emotion or concept or idea to represent. So again, when I look at this photograph, this is my wedding ring, and it is singular because there's only one. And so ring, and obviously if I had more than one, it would be rings. The common name for this particular item is a wedding ring. And in this case, and you're going to have to pardon my spelling, this is an Irish wedding ring, and it is called a claddagh. And it represents two hearts and 2 hands and a crown. So again, because it actually, this particular piece of jewelry has an actual name, the claddagh, we would capitalize that. Most wedding rings are just going to be common, it's just wedding ring. So then I need to think about, okay, is this particular picture, is it concrete or abstract? So it is, and I'm going to go back to singular and plural in just a minute. So this is a picture of a ring. However, it is an abstract, oops, change colors. It's an So I'm going to use this final picture to go through all of the characteristics of this picture of nouns. So the first thing I have is a photograph of my chickens. Chickens is a plural noun, and they are things because they're not people and they're not places. It could be a common noun because chickens is just the general name of these birds. The proper name of this particular breed is called the Buff Orpington. So because these actually have a specific name of a breed, they can be proper. I've also named my individual chickens. I have Dolly Parton and Iduna and Rudy and Sunny and Sally and Ginger and Babs and Winnie and Wilhelmina Peppermoon. So each chicken has its own proper name, but the proper name of these chickens is Buff Orpington. So they are definitely concrete because you can see them. I have to pick them up at night to put them into their coop. There is a collective noun to describe this group of birds, this group of chickens, and it's called a flock. I have a flock of chickens. And as far as its gender, if we didn't know what types of chickens they are, these could be male, masculine, or feminine, but in reality, my chickens are feminine because the other name for these chickens, the common name for a feminine chicken, is hen. I have 9 hens, which would also be plural. So this photograph, I have plural chickens or plural hens. The common name would be chickens or hens. The proper name would either be Buff Orpington for the group of them, or I could name each of them individually and give them their proper name. Definitely concrete because I can pick them up, I can pet them, I can feed them, I can water them. They smell terrible, so they fit all of the qualities of concrete. It is a flock of chickens, therefore it has that collective name. And then lastly, if it were just random chickens, I could say they're masculine or feminine, but because I know that I have 9 hens, they are feminine. So when you take your pictures, this is what I want you to be able to do, is to identify all the characteristics of the photographs that you take. So good luck, have fun, put your photos on a separate document, and when you submit it, there is a place in your work to add an attachment. So good luck, and I look forward to seeing your work.